The moment is now. Are you ready? Ready to own the land, air, and sea?
Welcome back to Let's Play Armis, Part 2 of Player Piece Powers. If you go to congregate.com, enter Armis in the search area, the game will come up. When the game comes up, after you enter your choice of colors, in this case red or green, then on this screen, this is the screen that you'll get to set up. On this screen, right in this area over here, it will explain the player piece duty, the player piece movement, the player piece power, as well as any conditions that pertain to that specific player piece. Right now, or in today's video, we're talking about the various powers of the player pieces. Now we've gone into whether or not the player piece is conditional or unconditional, offensive, or if the piece is non-offensive. Now we're just going to get started and play the game and try to point out alright, the computer just chose to switch board positions, so we'll have to play with red instead of green. Alright, I'm going to play my mover and put in the submarine. So I've entered the submarine onto coastal waters. Alright, his marine is on coastal waters in a range of 3 spaces, so it can go 1, 2, 3. And when I say 3 spaces, the marine is able to move in a multi-directional fashion. So it can go 3 straight spaces, 1, 2, 3. It can go 3 multi-directional spaces, 1, 2, 3. It can go on land as well as coastal waters. The Marines in general are able to climb over its friendly pieces as well as climb over the non-offensive pieces of the opponent. So his Marine can climb over my media, my diplomat, my child, as well as my nuke, in addition to all of the sea vessels while still on land. So in this case, his Marine, having a range of 3, 1, 2, 3, or 3, either way, these two would end up being 3, cannot reach my submarine. But I'm putting the sub in deep waters. His Marine is not able to go into deep waters, not unless it boards a aircraft carrier, one of his friendly aircraft carriers, or a submarine, a deep sea vessel. Okay, his jet just came over to this space, and so he's more than likely going to try. Let's see here. There's really nothing that he can take, so he's probably looking for me to try to put something in his path. And right now, I don't have any intention on doing that. But I am going to come over here so that I can make a path that can go straight from here to here, just in case I want to do an attack on one of these 2 spaces. I just move my mover back so that I can move my aircraft carrier into coastal waters Okay, since he did his first, chances are he's going to get in before me, and if so, then that's going to be a little bit of a tough one. Okay, he moved his helicopter over here. Now the helicopter is able to move 2 or 4 spaces in a straight line. So if he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, if he lands here, he ends up taking out what is directly in between takeoff and landing, which happens to be my submarine. So I could either go here or put a piece over here, so I end up blocking his ability to land, or I can move the submarine out on coastal waters, or I can move it into deep waters over here or over here. If I move it into deep waters, into this space here or here, then I have to beware that his aircraft carrier can enter deep waters and do a capture. But he can only, from this box here, he can only reach this deep sea space, and that's it. So if I go here or here, I'm safe. But I really want to stay over here, but let's see if I can. 1, 2, 3. I can't use my jet to go here because it has to move a minimum of 4 spaces. I can use, okay, this is the best move. I can use my diplomat. In using my diplomat, I'm advancing towards my opponent, while at the same time being making it so that he can't, he meaning the helicopter, can't land on this space, so he's unable to take my submarine from that vantage point. Because the diplomat is immune from attack by my opponent's military, he's out of range, or he is under no threat from the marine that's here that's otherwise in range. So if it was another piece such as my army, then his marine would be able to attack my army, and then of course my marine would take his marine. But having the diplomat in this space makes it really easy for me not to have to worry about any attack. Now, now with his aircraft carrier already in position, if I enter, then he'll be able to take me. If I move my submarine to this space or this space, then his aircraft carrier can take my submarine in either space. So right now, his aircraft carrier has full control over deep waters with this one piece. So if I want to try to get some control over the deep waters, or the central sea or the greater sea, I would have to either use my air force to do a flyover to try to take out his aircraft carrier, or try to get next to move my aircraft carrier to one of the coastal water spaces next to his aircraft carrier, so that I can move it into deep waters and affect the capture. That's not likely. I have a better chance or better likelihood of using my air force to take it out than to try to run around coastal waters to try to enter coastal waters and affect a a capture. So right now, I'll allow him to maintain that control over the greater sea or the deep waters in the center of the board. So now, as far as the strategy for him, if he wants to maintain or mount an assault towards the center of the board, he basically has full control. So I have to now mount my offensive towards the expanse area or towards the eastern corridor area. And as you can see, he has a piece over here and he has some backup over there. So he has, to a large degree, has control over the eastern corridor as well. So my best bet is to try to put forces in this direction to try to take out some of his pieces from this direction, or try to fight him back on his in areas, specifically this area here, that he actually has control over. In other words, try to fight for that control. Alright, so now using my jet, the jet has to move 4 or more spaces in a straight line, and whatever is directly between takeoff and landing, that is what comes out. So from this space, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I would have to land here in order to take him out over there. So I can't take his aircraft carrier with my jet. However, if I move my aircraft carrier here and he uses his aircraft carrier to take my aircraft carrier, then that space is 4 spaces away, 2 spaces away. And if I use my jet, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would still end up landing on a space that is not land or my aircraft carrier. So again, that's no good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the child and try to go for his nuke. Alrighty. I just moved the religion. Alright, now that's his vice president, which can only move 1, 2, 3, or 4 spaces in a straight line. This is my vice president, which can also move 1, 2, 3, or 4 spaces in a straight line. I want to move my president in this area here so that I can move in. Okay, I didn't expect that. He just used his he just used his vice president to take out my the computer's playing pretty good today. He used his vice president to take out my child. Because he took my child, he automatically forfeits his diplomat and religion. And that's basically a moral thing. If I use my president to take out his president, then he will likely use his marine to take out my vice president, and he will automatically be advanced down into or further down into this area, causing me more problems. And Not sure if I want to do that. Ooh. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be out of range from the jet as well as the army, but still within range of his marine. If I flew over using my jet to take his vice president. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can use my helicopter to take out his vice president. His vice president has done an awful lot of damage, and although I'll lose my helicopter, I won't lose my jet. I could either lose the jet or the helicopter, but if I do nothing, the chances are great that this vice president will do more damage and just go 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That's a good move. See, if I use my marine to take his vice president, then he will likely use his marine to take my marine. Then I can take his marine with my helicopter, which would end up going here, and then he would use his army to take my helicopter. Well, you know what? Although he ends up with more pieces than me, I think I will be in a better position, because then this will be opened up a little bit wider for me, and at the same time I can mount an attack in this direction, because he's going to more than likely have to use this marine to cover over here, but it won't be able to cover both areas. And I'll be able to use my president to come in this direction, although he has his president. Wow, the computer is doing pretty good today. It's playing pretty good. So I still don't know what to do. Took out the child. Instead of going for all the carnage, we'll just do that one. Well, I thought he was going to keep that there and use his either the marine or the army. That's cool. Okay. Okay, this space right here is the target space. my vice president, 1, 2, 3, 4, my vice president can go here. My president can't go there. My Marine can go there. So he's got his Marine, Army, and President all having some control over this space. Now we saw earlier that his jet was able to fly over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he has no control over this space with his jet. Alright, let's cause some damage in this direction. His helicopter, as I mentioned before. Alright, so we're doing some trades. If he uses his Marine to take my president, then I'll just use my... Oh, did I miss that? Oh, sadly I did. Whoa, good move. Okay, so now his next move can easily come down and take my flag or my reserve, either one. If he takes the flag, it automatically goes as the reserve automatically sacrifices itself. So whether he takes the reserve or the flag, he ends up with the reserve. But then the next move after that, he can take the flag, and that'll be the end of the game. So it would be best for me to go here and thereby protect the reserve, because after he takes the flag, he's going to end up with the reserve, and then I can just take that one. But if I go here, I got to make sure that the Marine can cover 1, 2, 3, and it can't.